Jeremy TV.
Jeremy here, coming at you on a warm, very humid, early September day here in southern Oklahoma. And I know it's been a while since I've done anything productive around the place. As I mentioned in my earlier videos, it's been a very unusual year, and been busy with a lot of stuff I wouldn't normally be busy with, including 4-day work trips, which I showed you in an earlier video. But I have several projects that need to be done. This one probably needs to be done sooner than the rest of them, so that's what I'm going to work on today. I'm on the west side of the place over here that I cleaned out this past winter of all the small trees and locust trees that have the gigantic thorns and briars and some smaller patches of blackberry bushes, and just a lot of stuff that was over here, a lot of places that were thick enough I had never stepped foot in them. So I got that gained this winter and have vowed not to let it grow back. You know, I have been busy. I've been doing a lot of mowing, but again, I don't want to document mowing. I think it's stupid, and I despise mowing, and I think I would be just as well served by showing me washing dishes. So, but this is mowing, but to me it's different. See, brush hogging and mowing are two different things. Mowing is stupid, brush hogging is fun. Mowing is a pain in the ass chore that has to be done every week or every 2 weeks without fail, never lets up. Brush hogging is a chore that needs to be done, but it can be put off. That's what I like about it. Plus, you brush hog with the tractor, you mow with the lawnmower. The tractor is more fun than the lawnmower. If it's a math equation, tractor greater than lawnmower. So anyway, there's just some math for the day. But it is actually a little bit more tolerable weather. You've seen me wiping sweat off my head. I'm a big guy, and I tend to sweat a lot anyway, but it's humid. It's humid as hell here right now. There's no other way to say it. We're dealing with two different tropical systems. One that just kind of moved out, and Tropical Storm Gordon, that's now just a remnant low pressure system moving east of us over in Arkansas right now. We actually haven't had much rain off of it today. We're too far west to get a lot of rain off of it. But it's definitely keeping the humidity pulled in from the Gulf, and it is sweltering out here right now. I'd say the dew point's probably between 70 and 75. I mean, it's the humidity's up there. It's not hot. I mean, it's not a hot day. It's, you know, we'd had some days in the hundreds and 105s and 10s, and even up till last week we were up in the mid to high 90s. So, you know, these 80s and low 90s are welcome. I will be so excited when we get our first freeze and I can quit mowing. And to me, that's when the winter season officially starts. When we get that first freeze, I can brush hog all the pasture, be done with it for the year, and work on stuff like cutting these dead trees down that I've got to work on, and maybe getting a brush pile burned, and all these little projects that I need to get done that are not getting done right now because I don't like working out in this humid crap. So anyway, I'll try to document this well today. I've had multiple requests from people to see the tractor in action, and I agree, I like the tractor stuff too. That's what I like to watch a lot when I'm not watching, you know, piloting videos, but I enjoy the tractor stuff too, and that's what really got me started on YouTube a couple of years ago, was watching tractor stuff. So this is the northwest corner. This is the part that's behind the pond. And it used to look kind of like that. It was all grown up like that. And now it looks like that. It's more grass than I remember. You know, there's some spots where blackberries are still trying to grow up. There's a couple of places where trees still try to grow up because I cut a lot of trees down to clean this up. But it's a lot better. I mean, I had never walked down here before that winter that I cleaned this out. I mean, because this was all thick with blackberries and stuff. So now we've managed to keep them down. Okay. And I'm always careful. See, there's one of the pretty good sized trees that we took down. I'm always careful down here because it's just the other side of the pond and I don't want to get down here and get in a snake. But let's see if I can find a blackberry. No, that's just a briar growing right there. But the blackberries do try to come back in some spots. That's just briar. Yeah, I don't see any blackberries, but there are some spots where they're still trying to grow back. And then as you can see, the freaking grasshoppers are everywhere, as you can probably see. I'm about tired of seeing grasshoppers. I'll be glad when the freeze kills all of them. There's our poor little pond. It is low. It's probably 15 or 20 feet from the current water's edge to where the outer edge of the bank is. It's not a big pond and it's not very deep. Even when it's full, it's probably only 5 or 6 feet deep. But you could probably walk out through there right now and not get your belt buckle wet. But yeah, that's all blackberry stuff growing right there on top of that poor willow tree. And I have worked and worked and tried to get rid of that, and it keeps coming back. And I think I just make it mad every time and it comes back better. But all of this was, I mean, everything from about right there all the way around was grown up so thick that you couldn't get anything down there to it. You couldn't walk to it, you couldn't get a four-wheeler to it. And I just took a winter and just come in here and I'd make one swipe at a time. I would cut back the overlapping blackberries so I could get the brush hog to it. I'd make one swipe of the brush hog. I'd make one swipe of the brush hog, park the tractor, cut back stuff with the chainsaw or the loppers, make another pass of the brush hog. And I just did that, I don't know, 20 or 25 passes until I got it all cleared out. I still need to get in there and get the fence line cleaned out because there's still some bunch of stuff in there that needs to be cut out. But it's pretty easy to access, and I'll get to it. It'll be a project that I get to someday. Not real worried about it right now. Anyway, there's the rig. I like the rig. The rig gets a lot. It probably gets as much attention as anything on this channel, and probably rightfully so. It does a lot more work than I do. But just a quick introduction. That's a Land Pride RCF 2060 brush hog. 5-foot brush hog, and that's a heavier duty one. When I first started looking at them, I was looking at a little bit lighter one, and I'm glad I went with the heavier one. It's a little bit more expensive, of course, but it's held up to the type of work I put it through. I don't feel bad if I run over a small tree with it. I try not to get too many trees. I do most of that with a chainsaw, but if I hit a tree, I need to knock down a small one, I'm not worried about it. If I get into crap, it'll just knock it down, either by blade or brute force. Of course, the little Kubota B2650 tractor, I love it. I'm going to do a review on that very soon, I promise. I'm going to tell you the things I like about it and the things I don't like. That's a pretty short list of things I don't like. It's got the LA 534 front end loader. Anyway, good little rig. But I'm going to get it fired back up and get to work. Alright, so I want to show you something. I stopped just so I could get off the tractor and show you this. You know, you look out through here and you think, oh, that's mostly grass. That's pretty benign out here, you know. Not really a lot growing back. And I even thought that when I first glanced at it. But as I'm driving through, I'm seeing these little trees, and they've got like these little ferny looking leaves on them. But you look at what that's got growing off of it. I'm going to look at my display here and see. Yeah, see those? Those are all thorns. And as they sit right now, they're not quite big enough to do damage to a tractor tire. And especially if you straddle them and just run right over them all in one shot with a brush hog, they're not going to hurt anything. But I've seen those in several spots, and that makes me feel glad that I came over here to do this, because I've already run over a few of those. See, here's, this is blackberry that was trying to grow back right here. That's blackberry that is actively growing in the fence that I couldn't get to with a brush hog. And this is more of these dadgum thorn trees right here. And everywhere you see one of those is another tree trying to grow back up, in probably more places than they were growing before. So when I cut them down, it probably spread seeds and stuff. And now they're mad at me and they're trying to take back over. So that just makes me feel all that much better that I decided to come over here and clean this up. Because one thing I don't want is that crap getting started back. I mean, I did a lot of work in here to get this taken back, and now it's trying to fight back. So I'm glad I got over here and started on this. But I mean, it's not like those things are going to grow up overnight. They're not. This is about 6 weeks worth of growing. I mean, you could let it go another month or two, it wouldn't be a big deal. But you know, if you let that grow too many more months, that thing might be kicking off thorns big enough to do damage to a tire. I mean, those aren't going to hurt a tractor tire right now. I mean, it could conceivably puncture a tractor tire if you hit it just right, but I think mostly they're probably too soft anyway. I think the tractor will just run right over them and not even blink. But you know, it's good to get them now. Get them while they're small and get rid of them, because boy, you sure don't want to get into that later on. You let them grow a year and then get them with the tractor. Okay, well, I'm just almost done with this west side over here, and I'm gonna go try to get down between my north fence and the road, so I can clean that up a little bit. I'm not going to document that because I've shown that part before on a previous video not too long ago, and try to get that wrapped up before I get rained on. You can see the rain off in the distance there falling out of that cloud. I don't think it's moving this way. So anyway, I'm glad to have this project done. It looks a lot better over here, and it'll get it one more time here in 6 or 8 or 9 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is before our first freeze. Usually by first week or 2 in November we get a freeze, and I can then brush hog the rest of the pasture, get it all done, and keep it short for winter. But so this west side won't get it anymore this year. But it was nice to get out and get another project done and documented. I hope you guys liked the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you like the type of stuff that goes on with this channel, click the subscribe button. For immediate notifications of video uploads, click the bell icon next to the subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments or just want to check in where you're watching from, drop that in the comment section right down below. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you again soon.